we have Happy Hunting this time. Call Me Madam, and then we're going to have this first real break before Merman comes back to Broadway. 5 years, in fact. At the first anniversary party for Call Me Madam, a guest brought Robert Six. He had founded Continental Airlines, and Ethel Merman was very attracted to him. After all the hopping around the Stork Club with the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, she was ready just for a little true love, maybe. Great news. She was going to get to do the movie of Call Me Madam. She had sort of been cheated out of most of her roles in Hollywood. She did get to do Anything Goes, so that was good, but it was bad. Call Me Madam closes, she goes, she makes the movie, and the movie's a hit. And all this time, Bob Six is traveling to be with her, and she's falling more and more in love. He decides he wants to get married. She suggests they go to Mexico and do it quietly. They bought this property, and it was called 6 acres, as in Mr. and Mrs. Robert Six. And she says she's loving it there, and she seems to really mean it, playing this other role away from Broadway, which she has now been part of for you know how many years. You've gone through all these shows with her since 1930. So somewhere around year 4.5, Bob Six gets a little antsy. He thinks that she should go back to Broadway. Joe Malziner's decided he wants to produce something for Merman. He hears these songs by these 2 young songwriters who their biggest claim to fame kind of at that point is they've placed a song on The Honeymooners for Art Carney, a song about the sewer. So they are off and running. And Howard Lindsay and Russell Crouse say they'll sign on. And everybody kind of like, not gangs up on her, but everybody's like, do it, Ethel, do it. You should be back on Broadway. All the money was put up by Bob Six's business associates and acquaintances. So Merman starts to feel this need to deliver a great big hit. So she says, okay, she comes on board. She's off and running. They decide the show, Happy Hunting. Now, it's about a woman. She's honest. She's kind of like galloping around. She's like a horse in a daisy patch. Like, not necessarily unwelcome, but not the daintiest thing you've ever seen. And she decides to go to Monaco for Grace Kelly's wedding. And she didn't really have an invitation. So she decides to marry her daughter off. He's the Duke of Granada. She actually thinks he's cute, and they fall in love. And that's sort of the happy ending. Very much a retread of the Call Me Madam idea. Funny, natural, down-to-earth woman dropped into a setting that she is very much out of place. Here's the souvenir program for Happy Hunting. At Ethel Merman, they get the, you see there, Fernando Lamas is the leading man. Now this show actually ends up being a tremendously difficult time. She famously called it her Jeep among the limousines because you've seen 5 shows by Cole Porter, 1 by Gershwin, 2 by Irving Berlin, and then she's got, you know, these 2 guys. Okay. Let's take a look at the title page here and see. This one is for December 24th, 1956, and you can see, look at this. This is Actors Fund Week. Let's say it is. Joe Malziner, the aforementioned Joe Malziner of setting fame, is now producing. He has a producing office, and this is his piece. Ethel Merman in Happy Hunting, no with or and or anything, Fernando Lamas, then with Virginia Gibson, Gordon Polk, Mary Finney, Leon Belasco, Olive Templeton, and Renato Sibeli. Book by Howard Lindsay and Russell Crouse. Lyrics by Matt Doobie. Music by Harold Carr. Harold Carr is a dentist. He was a very happy dentist, but he was also a very happy composer. Bells Are Ringing opens the same season. There was a character in there, a dentist who enjoys writing songs on his air hose. Same inspiration. Same guy. Harold Carr. Settings and lighting by Joe Malziner. He probably cut a good deal with himself. Costumes, Irene Sheriff. Jay Blackton, he's dropped that S forever. Orchestrations by Ted Royal Dance. Okay, and directed by Abe Burrows. Now there we have what we would recognize now as a directing credit. Interesting people in the cast here. One of them is Seth Riggs. He's a very famous vocal coach, in case you didn't know that. Quick side note, Estelle Parsons, the wonderful American actress, she was a journalist and wanted to be a journalist, and she was part of the very first Today Show on NBC back in the 50s, right? It was just brand new, and she keeps getting, handed assignments that are like, there's a baby hippopotamus at the zoo now, and she would be sent out to do a story. She wanted to do real journalism. She is assigned to go to Monaco and cover the wedding of Grace Kelly. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And so she said, no, it was amicable and everything, but she said, I just, that's not for me. I'm going to really branch off now and go into acting. And somebody ran into her and said, Abe Burrows is doing a new show. You should go talk to him. She went, she had her time with Abe Burrows. She got a job in Happy Hunting. Now the kicker is, the part she played was Mary Mills, a reporter who goes to Monaco to cover the marriage of Grace Kelly. That's show business. Oh, I do want to say, there was a horse in this show named Daisy. Daisy was played by Mo, who was a Lipizzan stallion with incredible breeding and pedigree. And the name of that horse was Mo. So Daisy was played by Mo. Daisy had some key scenes. I'll get to that in a second. Let's look at the bio, shall we? Okay. Who's who in the cast? December 24th, 1956. This was open on December 6th. So it's a pretty new show. It's within its first month. And the bio reads as follows. Ethel Merman, Liz Livingstone. Miss Merman first made the nation sit up and listen with her infectious rendition of I Got Rhythm in George Gershwin's Girl Crazy. And since then, the nation has been agreeing with her. It is almost an axiom among theatrical producers that the presence of Ethel Merman in a musical is a guarantee of its success. And among composers, that shortest line to the hit parade is to have Ethel Merman sing their tunes. In 1955, Miss Merman took all honors as the irrepressible party giver in the record-breaking Call Me Madam. At the conclusion of the New York run and a short tour, Miss Merman immortalized the hostess with the mostest for the motion pictures and retired temporarily from the stage to her home in Denver. Miss Merman's previous succession of successes include Something for the Boys, DuBarry Was a Lady, Panama Hattie, Stars in Your Eyes, Take a Chance, Scandals, and Annie Get Your Gun. It is appropriate to note here that 3 of her biggest hits, Happy Hunting, Red Hot and Blue, and Call Me Madam, were written by Howard Lindsay and Russell Krauss, authors of Happy Hunting. Her inimitable projection of Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries, Rise and Shine, I Got Religion, It's DeLovely, Ladies and Gentlemen, That's Love, You're an Old Smoothie, Friendship, Edie Was a Lady, They Say It's Wonderful, Doing What Comes Naturally, Sun in the Morning, Show Business, and You're Just in Love caused them to be sung, hummed, whistled, and played all over the country. Her vigorous humor, gusto, and chanting were inscribed on celluloid in Follow the Leader, We're Not Dressing, Kid Millions, The Big Broadcast, Strike Me Pink, Alexander's Ragtime Band, and Straight Place and Show, before Call Me Madam. Miss Merman was starred in television entertainment's most advanced milestone, the Ford 50th Anniversary Show. Recently, she recorded Ethel Merman, a musical autobiography, a record album of hit songs from her hit shows. Very nice. Here is what that autobiography looks like. Big 2 records. Here it is. 2 record set. 2 record set is the recording from the famous. Wait. See, they swapped them. So if you turn it one side, one starts on the right and the right and the left and the right. So they get completely equal billing in that Ford 50th anniversary program. It ran on 2 networks at the same time. They were our 2 networks so that Ford would get the maximum audience. That's how more people this night in America saw this performance than ever saw them in their theatrical appearances ever. Fernando Lamas, total jerk, embarrassed her went like that after a kiss. She had him written up with equity. He lost. He told Mike Wallace that kissing Ethel Merman is like kissing someone who's a cross between your uncle and a Sherman tank. So not a really pleasant experience for her. Show was a hit. It ran. It made money for everybody. And that was that. I think that's it. We are now going to enter the triumph of a triumphant career for Ethel Merman. Mama's got to let go. So just hold on. Oh, by the way, two of the songs in Happy Hunting, Ethel Merman disliked so much after a very short time that she called her old pal Roger Edens, asked him to write replacements for them. One of them replaced a song called The Game of Love, and he replaced it with something that she thought was better. He couldn't take credit for it, though, because he was on contract at MGM, and so he asked the great Kay Thompson to take credit for writing the song. It did go into the show. It did go into later playbills. I thought I'd leave you with a little taste of that because that's show business. I'll see you when we talk about Gypsy. All right.
Just a moment ago, I was nothing and nowhere, always trying to go where I shouldn't go. Just a moment ago, I was through with illusions. What to do with illusions, I wouldn't know. I only know that without any warning, the night is as bright as a gay May morning. Now in no time at all, I am something to someone, and the world has become one big glow. Am I happy? Did you ask me? I'd say no. That is not till just a moment ago. Just a moment ago. The night is as bright as a gay May morning. Now in no time at all, I am something to someone.